So we were talking about creating a high level of emotional poise. We talked a lot about the fact that it's how we look at things, right? That changes what we see. And that's the primary key, is to be willing to take a look at your perspective. How are you viewing things? We talked about how we're creating everything that shows up. I believe this so firmly. You know, last night, if you were here last night, for those of you that weren't here last night, we were talking at the meditation about the same thing. The reading just happened to coincide, and was talking about how if we're looking outside of ourselves, right, if we're expecting to find power outside of ourselves, we're looking in the wrong place. The power is always here. Each of us has that power because each of us is manifesting what's showing up. And the problem with this is that we're doing it whether we know we're doing it or not. So when someone's not aware of their power and they're focused on what's wrong, which is what people do when they're stuck in victim consciousness, they're continuing to manifest what's wrong because that's where they're putting their attention. Which is why it's important to always focus on the positive. So at the festival, I encouraged everyone, and this I'm encouraging you now if you haven't already done this, to not only get really, really clear about what you're committed to, but to actually create written goals. What do you want to create in your life? For your health, for your relationships, for your economic situation, every aspect of your life, what do you want to create? What's important is that you talk about what it is you want, not what you don't want. Right? Because so often people say, well, I don't want to be sick anymore. And so they're focused on being sick. Exactly. Okay, instead, in fact, I would phrase it in present terms. Because what we're doing is we're constantly telling the subconscious mind what's so. So if we're talking about how it's going to be, then your subconscious mind is always thinking that's in the future, not now. So I would say, I feel and function better than I ever have. My vitality is amazing. My mental clarity is incredible. This is what I'm going to tell myself because this is what I'm choosing to create for myself. And I'm programming my subconscious mind that this is how it is. Okay, so again, we're always programming the subconscious mind, which is why you may have heard me say to somebody here, the stroke, not my stroke. Why? Because you don't want to tell your subconscious mind, this is mine, this is something I want to hold on to. Okay, so if you're talking about anything going on in your body, whether it's you'd like to improve your vision or it's you'd like to improve your digestion, you don't want to say my digestion or my poor vision. You want to talk about it in non-possessive terms because you're programming your subconscious mind either way. Anything you want to let go of, stop owning it. Does this make sense? It's really powerful. I think people underestimate the power of the subconscious mind, but your subconscious mind is responsible for something like 98% of your results.
It's fair to say the conscious mind stimulates 2,000 neurons, the subconscious mind stimulates 4 billion neurons.
Okay. 2,000 neurons conscious mind versus 4 billion subconscious mind. Thank you. Frankly, I don't think most of us really understand what that difference is. But what's the power of that? 2,000 to 4 billion. So we're talking about half of 1/10,000%. Okay, the power is it's not 2 or 3%. It's a fraction of 1%. Your conscious mind. The subconscious mind is nearly all of it. This is why it's so important how you talk to yourself. And that small voice that everyone has in their head, what's happening for most people all the time is it's saying things like, well, who do you think you are? You're not good enough. You can't do that. Who do you think you're kidding, right? This comes back to 4 agreements. It's important that we change that programming. And the first step is to become conscious of it. This is the idea of the witness. The witness where we are thinking and speaking and simultaneously conscious of what we're thinking and speaking. It can be annoying at first, but I've known people who've taken this on board, and what they've done is they'll start to speak and they'll say, no, I correct that, change that, never mind, and they'll restate it. You want to start paying close attention so that you can rephrase and rethink in ways that are actually constructive to you. Okay, if we are these incredibly powerful creators and manifestors, why are so many people struggling to create what they choose to? Well, I think there's 2 reasons. One, they're not consciously creating. And 2, they probably have no idea what they're capable of. So they're going through life unconsciously creating what they don't want, because that's where they're focused. Okay?